Let me fix my hair. You better call Becky with the good hair. Today, right now, this very second, I want to talk about what you do when you don't get an apology from someone and they don't own up to their actions. I think this happens way too often where people do something crappy or something shitty or you know, hurt you in one way or another, and rather than them kind of apologizing and saying, hey, okay, I messed up, hold their hands up and apologize, you don't get that. And I think when that happens, I can imagine it being quite difficult for a lot of people, and some people don't know how to handle that. Some people don't know how to, you know, manage that, deal with that. People end up staying stuck in the hurt or end up acting out of the hurt in anger. And I'm not here to look down on anyone. I guess this is something that I have been and I am learning a lot about. When you realize that, you know, the hurt that you carry and the hurt that you feel will never be accounted for by the person who caused the hurt, even when sometimes you tell them and they're aware, or you don't tell them but they're still aware. It's life happens, you know, life just is, time just is, and sometimes things happen that are outside of our control, but also sometimes things happen that are in our control. And I guess for me, I've had to learn a lot about how do I navigate myself? How should I be? How am I supposed to be if the apology never comes? And some people might find that really easy, and some people might actually, I don't know if some people find it easy. I mean, some people, obviously there's over 7 billion people in the world, bound. I'm sure some people might find it easy, but I can also imagine how a lot of people might not, and actually maybe act out of the anger and the hurt that they feel. Because if, you know, you had someone close to you and they hurt you, and or not even close to you, this is the thing, sometimes things just happen, okay? You there's this thing in, like, I think in society quite often people, I'm looking at my neighbor, I think he's got pizza. Has he got pizza? Oh, fancy pizza. Sometimes, you know, you meet someone and you've not known them for years and years, like how you've known some people, but actually there's some sort of kind of connection there, and for some reason that connection tends to hold a place in your heart, a special place in your heart, or a big place in your heart, whatever. But I guess what I'm trying to say is, if someone's hurt you, the level of pain or the level of hurt that you experience isn't always determined by how long you've known that person. It could just merely be that you've known that person and you're bound by some sort of connection. But that doesn't make it any less painful. But trying to navigate yourself when you don't receive the apology, is really, really tough, and it's something that I'm having to and have had to learn, you know, how to acknowledge the feelings that I feel, how to allow them to be and allow them to have a place, and not be judgmental about how I feel, because and this is something I have to do every day. I have to literally remind myself that my feelings are justified, because society will make you feel that sometimes your feelings are justified, and it will have, I guess, a list of criteria that makes your feelings justified. But we're all human, you know. Things affect us in different ways, and sometimes, you know, there's no rule to relationship. There's no rule to a connection between two people. It's not defined by how long you've known someone, or you know, whether you have loads of mutual friends in common, or whatever, you know, society tries to sometimes make it look like. So it's a learning curve, and it will be beneficial for me in the long run, because I don't always want to find myself in situations where, you know, I'm exposed to hurt. I feel neglected for my hurt not being acknowledged and is accounted for. People will be people, like I said. People are different, but I'm learning to accept the feelings that are there. I'm learning to allow them to run their course, and to allow them to do whatever teaching, you know, it is that they're trying to do, and whatever learning I have to then take from that teaching. I think the key thing for me is to not to be judgmental of the feelings that I have, and, you know, just validate them, really, and to learn to somehow find a way of coexisting with, you know, knowing that an apology never will come. In some situations, some people do, you know, hold their hands up, and some people do apologize and are remorseful, and genuinely, though, you know, genuinely, like, that's another thing. I don't think it's right for people to apologize if there's no genuineness or warmth behind their apology. No one should, first and foremost, should ever ask anyone to apologize, especially when it's been spelled out, you know, to whoever. So yeah, I'm learning to know how to coexist with the feelings, and coming to terms with the fact that some things, in terms of apology, will never come. But that doesn't make me any less of a person, you know. That person's failure to acknowledge their wrongs and hold their hands up and apologize sincerely and genuinely doesn't make me or you or anyone who has been, you know, hurt or wronged or deserves an apology any less of a person at all. It really doesn't. And I can only pray and hope that people who don't see their mistakes now will at some point in life come to realize and hopefully learn from it for themselves. You know, everyone's on a different life journey. So yeah, I do think things through quite thoroughly, and I always often think about kind of, you know, different outcomes and scenarios and things, but you can never account for, you can never avoid feeling hurt when someone who hurt you, someone who you've told has hurt you, or you haven't told has hurt you, or knows that they have, doesn't apologize or express remorse. So I guess my message just in this video is to be patient with yourself, coexist with those feelings in a non-judgmental way, and learn in some way, obviously the most healthiest way, but learn in some way that, you know, people may not always apologize, and you can't force an apology out of someone. It takes away the whole principle of what an apology is or should be. So I hope out of me blabbing in this video that you've taken something from it, and if there's anything that I have to stress on, or I want to stress on, is just allow your feelings to coexist in the most non-judgmental way as possible. Let them do what they need to do, all the while just learning and trying to, you know, find healthy ways of accepting that sometimes you're just not gonna get that apology, or sometimes you're just not gonna get that acknowledgement. So yeah, that's it for this video, and check out my other videos as well, and don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe, and turn on your post notification bell so then you are reminded every time I post a video. So I'm hungry. I'm gonna eat. So until the next video, peace out. Your girl signing out, and have a nice day, evening, morning, whatever, wherever you are. Mwah.